This is amazing. And Toad even shows the seeds, the pictures in the book, it holds it open for them as if they could see. I hope that book doesn't get too soggy in the rain. Well, he is kind of holding it under the umbrella, so hopefully he'll be alright. So the two brave friends are on a mighty big quest, and we dissolve to a little bit later on where Toad finishes the story. He says, "And with only their wits, gumption, some string, a stick, a few buttons, and also a ladle and some old pants?" What is this? "That is Sir Toad and Squire Frog outsmarted the Green Knight?" Oh, let me read that again. I'm reading the closed captions as I go. "And with only their wits, gumption." What the heck is gumption? Let's see. Let me look this up here. Gumption. I've heard that word before, but it's not a word that I heard very commonly during my childhood. Your kids are probably going to wonder what that is. Their first assumption is probably going to be that it has something to do with gum or gummy candy or something. Let's see. Gumption. Gumption is the keen initiative, courage, and common sense required to make smart decisions and act on them with determination. Synonyms include initiative, drive, courage, grit, intelligence, and sense. Okay, so basically using their smarts. With only their wits, gumption, some string, a stick, a few buttons. String, a stick, a few buttons. When they said string and a stick, I thought they were building a kite at first. But what are they doing with the buttons? Sir Toad and Squire Frog, is this supposed to be like some sort of, medieval fantasy parallel to Frog and Toad's real life? Because we had a story about a lost button, and now they're doing something with buttons too. Wonder what that is. And also a ladle and some old pants. A ladle and some old pants. What could that possibly have to do with anything? Are we going to get an episode later on that has something to do with a ladle and possibly some old pants as well? I'll have to keep my eyes open for that, because there was nothing about either of those in the book. Well, the main Frog and Toad books by Arnold Lobel, I mean. They're talking about this in the book that Toad is reading, but you know what I mean, hopefully. Two brave friends on a mighty big quest. With only their wits, gumption, some string, a stick, a few buttons, and also a ladle and some old pants. That's how Sir Toad and Squire Frog outsmarted the Green Knight. The Green Knight? Is this a crossover? Is this a crossover between the book that Toad is reading and the book that Franklin read in the movie Franklin and the Green Knight? My mind is spinning. Do Frog and Toad live in the same universe as Franklin? Holy cow, that's an amazing thought. It'd be really cool if they did. Very similar art style, similar animation style. There aren't any talking frogs and toads on Franklin, though. At least none that I know of. But there is a turtle on Frog and Toad that walks on all fours, though. And there's a rabbit. And a snail, of course. That's how Sir Toad and Squire Frog outsmarted the Green Knights. Is this supposed to be an inside joke? Were the writers and producers trying to think of ways to make the Frog and Toad Apple TV series smarter than Nick Jr.'s Franklin series? Franklin's a very smart show. I'm looking forward to talking about that someday on the podcast, but there's a whole lot of different things that this could possibly mean. It really scatters the imagination. For those of you who don't know, Franklin and the Green Knights was the movie where Franklin read this storybook about the Green Knights, which... Oh, wait a minute! Oh, duh! The Green Knight on Franklin is a frog! How could I have forgotten that? So, Sir Toad and Squire Frog. Are Squire Frog and the Green Knights rivals in this story? Are they all amphibians? We may never know. Only Toad knows the answer to that question. This is mind-blowing. And I'm going completely off topic. This has nothing to do with the garden story whatsoever, but Toad's not reading the story about the rainbow and the pot of gold at the end like he did in the John Matthews version. He's reading this story that has a connection both to the Dragons and Giants episode and possibly kind of a tribute, homage, love letter to the shows of my childhood, like Franklin, for instance. If you're a Franklin fan, or a Little Bear fan, or even an Oswald fan, you'll love Frog and Toad. This is definitely right up that alley. That kind of very simple, gentle, slow-paced animated series with really wholesome stories. So, let's continue on now, shall we? So, Toad finished this epic storybook, and the seeds are not growing yet. And he says, "Not yet? Okay, I'll keep reading to you." So, I guess this book contains a lot of short stories. Kind of like Frog and Toad does. Each Frog and Toad book contains 5 short stories. Maybe the Sir Toad and Squire Frog ones do too. Because they read about the Dragon and the Giant in the namesake episode. And now Toad just read the story about Sir Toad and Squire Frog versus the Green Knight. Then we dissolved to a little bit later, and the rain just stopped, so I guess maybe Toad's not going to sing in the rain. And this story ends with the book saying, "At last, all brave Sir Toad and Squire Frog had to do was ask the fearsome troll if it wanted a cold glass of lemonade." The end. And no, I don't think this has anything to do with the grumpy old troll from Dora the Explorer, otherwise there would have been some riddles involved. And still no growth in the seeds. And then Toad gets down all fours and pushes some of the dirt aside to see if the seeds have changed at all underneath. And he says, "Not even a little bit." And he covers them back up again. I hope that doesn't hinder the seeds' growth at all, being disturbed like that. He says, "You seeds must be awfully scared. Do not fear. I'll stay here and keep you company so you won't be afraid." And then he tries to make some silly faces at the seeds to, I don't know, I guess make the seeds laugh. He sticks out his tongue and makes some silly faces and sounds. Now he's standing on the rock, and he's getting ready to recite a poem. He says, "I hope this poem fills you with as much joy as it does me." Alright, it looks like we're gonna skip the scene with Toad singing altogether, because now we're at the poetry scene. He doesn't have a poetry book, though. This must be something that he memorized. You guys remember what poem Toad read for the seeds in the John Matthews version? It was actually a real poem, some excerpts from a real poem, Laughing Song, written by William Blake in 1789. "When the air does laugh with our merry wit, and the green hill laughs with noise of it, come live and be merry, and join with me to sing the sweet chorus of ha, ha, he." And that's only a small part of it. The entire poem actually goes like this. "When the green woods laugh with the voice of joy, and the dimpling stream runs laughing by, when the air does laugh with a merry wit, and the green hill laughs with noise of it, when the meadows laugh with lively green, and a grasshopper laughs in the merry scene, when Mary and Susan and Emily with their sweet round mouths sing ha ha he, when the painted birds laugh in the shade, when our table with cherries and nuts is spread," maybe it's supposed to be pronounced sprayed. "When the painted birds laugh in the shade, when our table with cherries and nuts is spread, come live and be merry and join with me to sing the sweet chorus of ha ha he." So that's the entire poem. But of course, in the Apple TV version, we do not hear Toad reciting that one. I wonder if this is a poem that Toad made up. Let's see. "There once was a very nice Toad who lived in a lovely abode. He made friends with a bug, and they cut up a rug and enjoyed cherry pie a la mode." Yeah, I think this one is authentic. Like a Toad original. Like a Frog and Toad original made exclusively for Apple TV. Because I can't find any other poems that resemble this one exactly.